My fellow youths, I apologize for bringing this video late. It is because, as you can imagine, this has been one overwhelming day of my life, especially with the turn of events, and most especially because some pictures circulated even before I got home. But in all this, I am learning big lessons from this journey that we have started together. And I have noted some of your comments, and I respect all of them, especially because you and I are advocating for the same freedom of expression, and you're simply expressing yourselves and your opinions. I want to start by emphasizing two things. One, I have not been bought. Two, I am non-partisan. Those of you who know me will agree with me that I have very strong values, and those values can never be changed by the current situation or the events that have happened today. I'm here to tell you what has transpired so far, and also maybe to help you get the correct information from me with regards to what has transpired. Earlier, I had shared a press statement via my Facebook page, and then I deleted it, and I apologize for deleting it. But the reason I did is because I know that a lot of people, the majority, have misunderstood part of it, especially the part that says, "Today, State House invited me for a meeting." But just to clarify on that part, I was already outside State House. So I went to State House. Then I was invited inside based on the procedure that you have to follow, that I had to follow in order for me to deliver what I went there for, which I'll be able to explain as we go on. Some of you challenged me in the last few days to say, "You are talking and talking and talking on social media. You have talked, you have spoken, you have made everyone know what your concerns are and what issues you want to see being addressed. And the same people that were challenging me to do that have the same issues. So now you told me to say, so what is the next step? So now, what is the next step? Like, what are we looking for? What do we want?" And obviously, what we want is to be heard. And that's the reason we are fighting against the infringement on freedom of expression. What we want is to be heard. Because it's only after you are heard that someone can act on the things that you are advocating for. Or how can you be heard if you are just on social media, or you are just at a demonstration and say, "I want to be heard"? How do you get the desired outcome? How do you get the action now? So after you have done that part of talking and showing that these are your concerns that you have, there is the next phase now, which is called engagement, where you engage the people that you want to see work on your case. So here is what I decided to do based on the advice and the counsel that I got from some of you. So I wrote a letter to the president addressing the concerns that you and I have. And in this letter, I am seeking an audience with the head of state so that our case can be heard. And obviously, we all know what we want right now. We want our freedom of expression. We want to talk about youth unemployment. We want to talk about corruption. We want to talk about gold mining. We want to talk about the ill treatment of Zambian workers by some foreign investors, etc., etc. So I wrote a letter, and the letter reads, "Your Excellency, Dr. Edgar Lungu, appointment for a meeting. Reference is made to the above captioned matter. I hereby request your kind consideration for a meeting to discuss issues surrounding youth development, which may include A, the need for government's frequent communication on efforts being made to address challenges facing youth and opportunities available to the youth population. B, recent concerns regarding the conduct of some foreign investors, and feedback from the youths. Your favorable consideration to my request will be highly appreciated. Yours faithfully, Brian Wembia, music artist / activist. Signed. Now, this letter that I wrote has to go to State House. So how does it go to State House? I have to take it to State House. So I notified State House to say I had written a letter to the president and I wanted to deliver the letter. So they gave me an appointment and say, okay, you can bring the letter tomorrow morning. And that's how I took the letter. So when I went to the office of the advisor and the press aide, they welcomed me warmly and they said they were happy to see me there. And I presented the letter to them to say, this is the letter that I've written to the president. So the two gentlemen went through the letter just for them to understand the issues that we want to discuss with the head of state. And they said, okay, these are valid concerns and they are definitely in line with the issues that you have been raising on social media because they are aware. So then they mentioned to say, when you had notified State House that you were going to bring a letter that you had written to the president, we actually also informed him to say you had plans to bring a letter that you had written. So according to them, the president was happy to hear that I had intended to take a letter to State House seeking audience with him or seeking an appointment with him to be able to discuss the issues that I have been raising and that many other youths have been raising. And then he said, and actually, before we even talk about the meeting between BFlow, his friends, and myself, meaning him, the head of state, it's very important that they also air their views with the Lusaka province minister, Honorable Bowman Lusambo, before they can meet the president. So while we were talking, then the press aide and the advisor said, by the way, Honorable Lusambo is actually around. He's here for another meeting on the other side. And we had even mentioned to him in the morning to say, BFlow is bringing a letter here. Would it be good for you to say hi, or would you consider saying hi to him? Maybe there could be an opportunity for you to talk. And according to them, he said, yeah, he was cool with that. So they asked me if I was okay with him coming to say hi to me. And then obviously, I also said, that's fine. Who doesn't want peace? I said, okay, that's all right. So that was the conclusion. And then that's how Honorable Lusambo joined us in that office when I was just about to leave. And we greeted each other. There was no much conversation between me and Honorable Lusambo. Basically, he mentioned that he is ready to be advised. He said, my office is open, you can advise me, and other youths can advise me. And basically, that was what it was about. And then he said, oh, I need to rush back into the other meeting. So he was about to leave. So he requested that we take a picture together, and we took 1, 2, 3 pictures together with the other people that were in the office. And that's how we said bye to each other. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Oh, by the way, I did not have my phone, so I wouldn't have gone live, and I wouldn't have taken a picture using my phone because you're not allowed to go into the State House with a phone, so I didn't have mine. And that was it. So the $1 million question is, what is the way forward? And the way forward is, we are not backing down. So step 1, we have presented a letter awaiting feedback from the head of state to know whether he'll be able to give us audience or not. And that is up to him. If he says he's going to meet with us, then we need to mobilize ourselves and agree on who is going to represent the youth movement and who is going to speak, and then we can sit down, all of us, and now agree on the points and exactly how we will present them so that our case can be heard. If our request is declined, it so happens that vakana to say I cannot have a meeting with these people, what do? We come back. We go back to the drawing board and now decide to say, what are we going to do next? So what course of action are we going to take to ensure that we are heard and all our concerns are put into consideration? So that is the way forward. Step 2. The Provincial Minister for Lusaka Province, Honorable Bowman Lusambo, has to apologize to us, the youths. And that's what we continue to demand for until it happens, because that will make us happy. Let us stay focused on key development issues and not conflict. The key issue is not to fight, but to propagate positive change. We hope that the respect that we have given our leaders will be reciprocated. In conclusion, the revolution continues. Let us continue to use our various platforms to air our views and to enjoy our freedom of expression. Like I always say, we are stronger together.